Hello everyone, I welcome you all for the video lecture on the introduction to O. What do you mean by object oriented programming and what are all the concepts? Let us discuss on it. So, object oriented programming is a programming paradigm based on the concept of objects that contain data and methods. The primary purpose of object oriented programming is to increase the flexibility and maintainability of programs. This can be achieved by representing real world entities in programming. Let us discuss in detail about the basic elements of the concept of object oriented programming. First one is the object. So, what do you mean by object? Object represents real world entities. So it may be any real world object that is present in the environment or the world, and it consists of the state and behavior. What do you mean by state? State is the property or attributes of the particular object considered. And what do you mean by the behavior? Behavior represents methods. Methods are the functions that the object can perform. So here they have given the example of an object car. The car has the properties color, transmission type, maximum speed, and the methods include start, stop, accelerate, and change transmission. Now coming to the class, it is user defined blueprint or prototype from which objects are created. Simply, we can say it is the blueprint of an object, and it represents the set of properties or methods that are common to all objects of one type. So, if we take look at the diagram, a car for a class, we may have a Ford car, Toyota car, and Volkswagen car as objects. So they have given you with the representation of a flow chart. That is, consider class as car containing the properties and methods of it. And we may have the objects of Ford and Toyota containing the methods and properties of it. And then coming to an important concept in the object oriented programming language, inheritance. Inheritance is the one advantage that we can have when we use objects and classes in coding the program. So, one class is allowed to inherit the features of another class. So, we have a number of classes in a program, and each class is separated by its own coding and built as a block of code. So, when we want to inherit the properties or the methods of one class to another class, it is possible. That concept is called inheritance. So, the base class from which we inherit is called the base class or superclass or parent class, and from which the we inherit is called derived class, subclass, or child class. The inherited class is called subclass, child class or derived class. So they have given you with general form and special form. So look at this. If we consider person is the generalized form of different special forms called programmer, dancer, and singer. So from this, let us derive another concept called polymorphism. What do you mean by polymorphism? Polymorphism, the term poly means many and morph means forms. So here they have given you with a car. The car may be petrol, that is a fuel car, or electric car. So this is many forms of a single car. So in programming language, when we want to write code for the specialized forms of a general one, then we call that concept as polymorphism. And coming to the abstraction, essential details are displayed to the user is what we call as a abstraction. Look at the picture without abstraction, how it looks, and with abstraction, how it is. And in simple terms, we can say showing only relevant data and hiding unnecessary details of an object from the user. Coming to the concept encapsulation, wrapping up of a data under a single unit is called encapsulation. So, in the classes and objects, we actually bind code in data that manipulates. Yes, in class we have data and methods encapsulated. So this particular concept is what we call it as encapsulation. So coming to the end of the today's video lecture, I hope all you have understood the basic object oriented programming language concepts. Thank you all.